up, we honor senior attacker and team captain Shea Gilmer. Shea is accompanied by his parents, Jason and Jessica Gilmer. Shea has had an outstanding career at Bucknell, scoring 104 goals over his last 4 years. In his sophomore year, he made a key impact by scoring 2 crucial goals in the NWPC semifinal win over George Washington. As junior, Gilmer was a vital part of the team, finishing as the second leading scorer with an impressive 51 goals. He also contributed 11 blocks and 36 steals, highlighting his all-around abilities of both offense and defense. So far this season, he has notched 22 goals, 9 steals, 1 block, 7 assists, and 14 each extra strong. Finance major from Woodland Hills, California. Let's give it up for number 12, Shea Gilmer. Now we recognize senior center defender, Mason Multai. Sean is accompanied by Evan and Christine Yardley. Sean has had an outstanding career at Bucknell, scoring 137 goals over his last 4 years. In his rookie season, he earned all NWPC 17 honors. His strong play continued with 2 goals in the NWPC quarterfinal against Navy during his sophomore year, and he ranked among the team's top 3 scorers as a junior. So far this season, he has notched 10 goals, 1 block, 1 assist, 5 steals, and 2 ejections strong. An economics major from Istanbul, Turkey. Let's give it up for number 21, Mason Multai. And now, the final senior we will be honoring here this evening is senior center and fellow captain, Matt Reitman. Matt is accompanied by his parents, John and Polo, along with his sister Jackie. Matt has scored 68 goals during his 4 years at Bucknell. He set career best in his freshman and sophomore seasons, hitting 3 goals in wins over Mount San Antonio and Salem. As junior, Reitman continued to showcase his skill, recording 13 goals, 1 block, and 9 steals across 12 games. So far this season, he has notched 15 goals, 1 block, 1 assist, and 23 ejections strong. And the mechanical legend is made from Hopkins, Venezuela. Let's give it up for number 4, Matt Reitman. And have that round of applause for
And a pleasant good evening to you, my friends, as we welcome you to Kinney Natatorium for day number 2, for game number 2, I should say, of 1 today, as the Bucknell Bison are preparing to take on their rivals from Baltimore. They are the Johns Hopkins Blue Hawks, as it seems we are just about ready to go here at Kinney Natatorium. Pleased to be with you on the Bucknell Athletics YouTube channel. I'm Colton the Bias. It was a heartbreaker for the Bison this morning, having a lead late against George Washington, who have been receiving votes, and they are going to go down to Mount St. Mary's tomorrow with a statement win against the Bucknell Bison. 13-12 was the final in the matchup, as we are just about to get things ready to go as the Bison look for a rebound against a team that historically they have done really well against. They are the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays, the rivals from Baltimore, as the opening sprint is off and running, and that means we are underway here at Kinney Natatorium. Just honored the 4 seniors on the roster with the season winding down, especially the home portion of the 2024 season for the Bucknell Bison. And the seniors hasten. Multi off the post! Multi trying to fire a shot in, and he cannot cash in, and the Bison come up empty on their first offensive possession of the ballgame. Now John Hopkins takes it back the other way, trying to see if they be the ones to get the first goal on the board in this one, and instead it's a save the other way. David Dimitru getting the start today in goal for John McBride, and 2 big saves to start off this contest here with no goals in the first minute. First meeting of the season between these 2 teams, and another stop. Kyle Pearson, the senior goalkeeper out of Florida. He went to school in California, and he comes up big with 2 big saves on the Bison. And this game remains tied for the time being. There's Multi trying to find Stefanovic. Stefanovic had a handful of goals in the George Washington loss this afternoon, and now John Hopkins takes it back the other way. Stefanovic had the last 2 goals. As a matter of fact, for the Bison, they were up 12-11 late. It was tied at 10-all heading into the 4th. And the Bison cannot hold on. They have 1 final offensive possession, as that one skips away, and getting a piece of it is Dimitru. And the defense has shined so far as the Bison move it along. Stefanovic picks up the ball, gets past the 5-meter line, going towards the net. He sinks into the chlorine, and we get an exclusion against John Hopkins. That one's going to go against Philip Long, the freshman out of California. And the Bison capitalize on the power play. Into the middle, and the one-timer does the trick. Matt Reichman, one of the seniors who we just honored, gets goal number 1 in this game, and it is 1-0 Bison. Reichman was left goalless in the George Washington matchup this morning. He knocks in his 16th goal of the season. Bison coming into this game with a long winning streak over John Hopkins. John Hopkins, a NCAA Division III school with all of their other sports other than fellow men's lacrosse, especially on the men's side. You know who well, you might not know who the real John Hopkins is, but you know the John Hopkins lacrosse program. Multi-time national champions. Bison are riding a 14-match winning streak against John Hopkins. There's only been 4 wins here at Kinney Natatorium for John Hopkins, and Reichman trying to go 2 for 2, and he can't cash in, with Pearson getting a piece of it. The last win for John Hopkins came in this building in 2015. And trying to get another one-timer. The Bison are offsides. Multi trying to sail it in. He gets the shot past the 2-meter line, and as a result, John Hopkins trying to return the favor and eventually tie the game. Seems to get a timeout right away. Timeout for Coach Max Schlegel. Knows how to play in big games. 4-year player out of Loyola and Marymount, California, in the LA suburbs, played in the NCAA tournament all 4 years. He was a student and a player there. He's been with this John Hopkins water program since 2016, starting with the staff as an assistant, and he has been the head coach for this team since 2019. And with the Bison loss this afternoon, Bison dropped to 6-7. They go back below 500 on the season. They can end that if they can pull off a win today. They're holding on for this game. They'll go to 7-7. And they're still trying in the race with the MAWPC playoffs. They're going to be here before we know it. And with the loss to George Washington this morning, Bison are now 3-2 in MAWPC play. And on the other side, John Hopkins, they are 1-2 in MAWPC play, coming into this game with a 7-11 overall record. Still looking for their first goal. 15 to shoot, trying to fit the one-timer, and it goes right into the hands of Multi. On Multi, one of the 4 seniors that we just honored, along with Jack Bruce and Shea Giller. So Matt Reichman, who has the lone goal in this contest so far, and Reichman looking for another one. Exclusion against John Hopkins. It's going to go against number 10, Jason Mihalopoulos, the junior out of Vegas. Trying to skip it into the middle. That was Thornycliffe. Nobody can answer the bell for the Bison. Trying to find Reichman in front. There's Pearson. Passes it ahead for Daniel Pelfey, the junior out of California. No international players for this John Hopkins program. I don't think they need it. Andrew Lee, the leading goal scorer for the Blue Jays, gets John Hopkins on the board, and we're tied at 1, close to the halfway point of the first quarter. That's now 42 goals on the season for Andrew Lee. Number 11, Ian Rayleigh, is behind him with 38. Andrew Lee, a freshman. The LA freshman gets John Hopkins on the board, having a major impact. Coming from LA to Baltimore. Applied mathematics and statistics major. Expecting to see and hear his name a lot throughout the next few years of his water polo career over in Baltimore. And a forced turnover. Even Babel, the sophomore at San Francisco. Got a piece of the action in front of the net, and Pearson sends it to the far side. Alec Baker sends it for Quinn Steffi. They pass it, 9 to shoot. Looking for a body in front. Bison are saying that there's no exclusion, but according to the refs, there are. 5 to shoot, save made! David Dimitru coming up big. Shot was taken by Baker. The Bison with a chance to try to tie the matchup again. Mentioned a 14-game winning streak. And the Bison hold against John Hopkins. And the one-timer into the hands of Pearson. But it seems there was some rumbling in front. And the first penalty shot of this ball game is going to go to Bucknell. Alexis Stepanovic is going to take it. He had 4 goals this morning, and he can't get his 5th today. Hits the post. Pearson gets a piece of it, and this game remains tied at 1. Baker. Down low for Bartlett. Bartlett trying to get away from Thornycliffe. Back to the point. Palfy, 15 to shoot. Palfy lets it go towards the middle. Stepanovic fighting for it back as they were trying to find Chris Lowe down low. No pun intended there, and there's no pun intended on that goal either as John Hopkins takes the lead. It's the sophomore Owen Bartlett, and it's 2-1 Blue Jays. Bartlett out of Newport Beach, California, the computer science and cognitive science major. Total of 9 players out of Golden State for John Hopkins. Now Shager having recruiting ties there, and it just seems like if you want to be a collegiate water polo coach, you have to recruit in the Golden State. And just like that, another Golden Stater the other way ties the game. It's Shea Gillard. 2 goals for 2 seniors on senior day. Gillard joins Reichman, and this game is tied at 2. Bartlett sends it to the left. And Rayleigh. And a turnover. Stevanovich forces it. Now Bucknell trying to force it back the other way. Bison working right to left. John Hopkins left to right. Gillard racing on in. Save made by Pearson. Shea Gillard looking to go back to back. And Pearson denies him there. Long sends it long. No pun intended there. The Bartlett, who was the last goal for John Hopkins, sends it to the middle. With 16 to shoot it. Dimitri comes up with a stop. That shot was let go by Palefy. Stevanovich. Dozen to shoot. Go back and forth. We're close to the second, and another turnover. Tyler Hedley, one of the start freshman for the Bison, turns it over. And the Bison looking for a rebound after suffering the heartbreak that they faced here at Kinney this morning against George Washington. And there's a shot that's blocked. Multi gets a piece of it. But the Blue Jays get it back with a fresh shot clock. Bartlett swims it down. He was left open. Hedblad returns the cover. And they're looking for the one-timer in front. It goes past the 2-meter line and a whistle. And it hits the out-of-bounds marker past the goal line. And the ball goes back to the Bison with 54 seconds remaining until we move along to the second. Gillard splashing all around. He's trying to fire a shot in front. Bartlett was on the fence with Palefy. The Blue Jays force an empty offensive drive for the Bison. Built long. And the other Californians let it up, and now it moves to the far side. Stevanovich on defense with Baker. Slides it across. Palefy into the middle, trying to find the one-timer, and they can't cash in with Chris Lowe. And senior. Now track the ball down in time for a goal. 5 seconds. And the Bison get one more goal and an exclusion against John Hopkins. Race on in, off the post. Jack Delane one-on-one with Kyle Pearson, and he cannot fire it in, and the Bison fail to take the lead as we move along to the second. But the good news is, it's only the end of the first. We still got a bunch of time left here at Kinney Nanatorium as the Bison are the believer already at this point of the season. The Bison are closing down their final few games here at Kinney Nanatorium this season. Everything Kinney Nanatorium for the 2024 season for the Bison. It's going to wrap up tomorrow. Have their highly anticipated matchup against the Navy Midshipmen. The Bison coming into this weekend ranked tied for 20th with the other Service Academy, Air Force, Wagner. You guessed it, Navy tied for 20th as well. So 4 teams tied for 20th in the national pools this week. And the Bison are going to be playing their counterparts in that tied for 20 marker as they will take on the Navy Midshipmen tomorrow. That matchup will be at 11 a.m. and then Mercyhurst Lakers will come back to town. Mercyhurst, they had a busy day. They were actually over in Emmitsburg taking on Mount St. Mary's this afternoon. And Mercyhurst, it was a close game up until the start of the third. It was tied heading into third quarter. It was tied at 7, and then Mount St. Mary's, they were able to pour it on with a few goals in the third, and it was insurmountable for Mercyhurst to try to corral a comeback. So Mount St. Mary's defeating Mercyhurst, and Mercyhurst is actually playing in about 45 minutes. They are taking on Bison's opponent this morning, George Washington, down at Mount St. Mary's. Those will be the final 2 matchups here at Kinney Natatorium for the Bison tomorrow. It's Navy and Mercyhurst, with the Bison not having the upper hand of hosting the MEWPC Championships, as Bison hope to head back to Annapolis and head back to Lewisburg with an MEWPC Championship, and then getting ready to head out to California for the national tournament. The Bison heading up to Boston next week for the Harvard Invitational, and then try to get some revenge on George Washington, but they got to go on the road to play them with back-to-back games, and we're going to see John Hopkins again on October 26th. As we move along to the second quarter, and we are tied at 2. John Hopkins, they're going to hit the road, and they're going to head down to Mount St. Mary's tomorrow. So a lot of driving from Lewisburg and Emmitsburg for a handful of programs here. For the Bison, cash on the first goal with the second, racing towards the net, send it back for Stefanovic, who lost it. That takes time off the clock, still 5 seconds. Shad Murat trying to fight for it, and he gets it in with pressure in his face. Gets it past Steffi first, and then Pearson for the goal, and the Bison retake the lead to start the second. John Hopkins respond. They can, a turnover. Gillern with pressure, and he takes the ball back for the Bison. Finds Tonacliffe. Pushes it for Murad. Trying to find a body in the middle and off the post. Matt Reichman trying to cash home another goal. Bison dominating the pool so far in this quarter. A minute and 8 seconds have gone by. There's Gillern again with pressure as he's trying to find Tonacliffe, the exclusion. Ball pulls back for Gillern. Tonacliffe again. Tonacliffe fires it in. 4-2 Bison. A sophomore out of Long Beach. Bison are off and running. They lead by 2. It was an 18-9 decision when these two teams met 1 year ago. 2 days from now will be a year to the date. And it was right here at Kinney. And the Bison with a midline turnover and whistles are going to result. Exclusion against John Hopkins. Gillern. Save made. Pearson. Another stop and killer, and all he could do is roll his eyes and look at the ceiling. And a fast break for John Hopkins, trying to go lightning speed to try to get back within 1. Narad stops that. Reichman is going to wind up a shot, try to make his case for a goal, but an offensive exclusion, and Pearson sends it away. It's going to go to Patrick Rooney, a freshman out of San Diego. Quick pass over for Steffi. Mentioned a lot of Californians. California represented really well for this Blue Jays program. 9 players from the Golden State. No international players. Healthy. Quick pass, and the angle is through for a goal. It's Patrick Rooney, the freshman. John Hopkins within 1. 17th goal on the freshman campaign for Patrick Rooney. Played for the San Diego Shores for 6 years. Applied mathematics and statistics major. Play resumes. Bison still holding the lead. Gillern. Tusso with Holopolis. Gilbert. That's the 6-meter line, trying to find Reichman. Rayleigh pressured. Gilbert with the pull three, the shoot. Doesn't let it go, and time's going to run out on the clock. Tonnicliffe, last second shot. That would have been very close to counting if it would have went in, but you never know. John Hopkins leads it back as they try to tie the game. Baker. Rayleigh. Halapoulos, junior out of Vegas. Sends it for Rayleigh. 15 to shoot. Over to the far side. Fresh shot clock for the Blue Jays. Halapoulos turns for Rayleigh. Cuts up Baker. And they tried to skip it in. That was low. Took the shot. John Hopkins taking time off the clock. They can't cash in on that offensive drive. See if the Bison can return to a 2-goal advantage. Hedblad. Send it a little too far for Gillen, so Murat picks it up. Goes to the far side. Jack Bruce. One of the seniors that we honored before the matchup, and it's another turnover for the Bison, and Bucknell getting opportunities for John Hopkins to tie this game. It was close this morning all throughout the matchup against George Washington. Bison did have a 2-goal lead a few times at some point, including having a 1-goal lead. It's 12 to 11 with under 3 minutes remaining, and the Revolutionaries getting 2 quick goals afterwards, and they were able to hold on for the win. George Washington had to pack up, get on the bus, and head to Mount St. Mary's as Lowe tried to get that in again or make that Bartlett. The shot clock turned off. And John Hopkins would try it again, and an exclusion that was near the 2-meter line. And the Blue Jays can tie the game on the power play. Exclusion against Gilbert, he'll have to sit out. Bartlett. Stefanovic trying to fight for it back. Bartlett. Low. Bartlett. Trying to skip it in. Stopped by Dimitri. And the Blue Jays come up empty on the man advantage. Bison still hold their 1-goal lead as we approach halftime in 3 minutes. Here's Hedblad. Pressure in his face, so he finds Murad. Murad tussle as cap comes off for John Hopkins. Murad sends it over. Jack Bruce. Bruce trying to get a goal on senior day. Reichman and Gilbert already have goals. Bruce and multi. Hoping to join. Rayleigh. That's the 2-meter line with control of the ball. He tried the tough angle shot, and it hits the post. A lot of shots that have hit the iron instead of the net so far. See what Hedblad can do. And he makes contact with the net. 5-3 Bison. Tyler Hedblad, a monster freshman year. He had a goal in the third this morning, and he drills in his 31st goal in his freshman campaign to make it 5-3. Subs come in for the Blue Jays. And the starters, Philip Long, has returned and holds the ball. Ethan Babel, the sophomore out of San Francisco, enters back into the contest, and Long with a quick pass, 15 seconds to shoot. Trying to find cap in front of his Andrew Lee, the leading goal scorer. Got the first goal for John Hopkins. But once again, Blue Jays come up empty, and they failed to get the game within 1. Bison trying to make it a 3-goal game. And John Hopkins takes it back the other way. There's Pelfy. Wide open man, it's long. Trying to find the one-timer in front, and it's into the net, but it does not count. Patrick Rooney. Try to get the goal. Well, the official blew the whistle before the shot was fired. Oh, my apologies, my friends. It is a goal. And the Blue Jays get within 1. My apologies. I thought the goal was disallowed because the ref blew the whistle before it was botched in. Sink is called against John Hopkins, and the air horn is alarmed because John McBride takes the timeout. As mentioned, just in case if you missed it, we'll get through the scripts for all of the seniors that we honored here before the contest. And with the timeout, it's a good time to recognize the first senior that we honored here tonight. And it is attacker Jack Bruce. He was joined by his parents Bill and Tracy Bruce before the start of today's festivities. Jack has played a pivotal role both in and out of the water for the Bison throughout the last 4 years. He has contributed both offensively and defensively, tallying 15 goals with 8 of them coming during his junior year. And keep in mind, this was all before the 2 games this afternoon. So far this season, he has notched 3 goals, 1 block, 3 assists, and 3 steals. And he's an economics major from Greenwich, Connecticut. Honoring Jack Bruce. 21 goals coming into today's matchups. He failed to get a ball across the line in the George Washington matchup this afternoon. Play resumes with both clubs entering back onto the pool, and John McBride taking the timeout after John Hopkins penciling in another goal. Dimitru. Connicliffe, far side. Stepanovic at the point for Gilbert. At the 3-meter line, Stepanovic looking for the one-timer. Pearson gets a piece of it, and Multi draws the exclusion. And it's going to give a penalty shot for the Bison. Going to be taken by Connicliffe. Bison. A penalty shot today. It came up empty. What did Connicliffe do here? He scores! John Connicliffe makes it 6-4 Bison with 1:12 remaining in the first half. Total of 23 goals coming into this contest for Connicliffe. That was actually before the day. He had a goal in the George Washington game this morning. Steffi trying to return the favor and some more for the Blue Jays. Stepanovic on the fence with 11 to shoot. They were trying to find Lee in front. Steffi. There's for Pelfy. 45 seconds remaining. So we head to the third. John Hopkins get back within 1. He's a little too far. It's going to take a few seconds off. Here's long. And a save by Dimitru. Big stop by the sophomore. And Bucknell holds the 2-goal lead. Looking for more. 5 seconds between the clocks. But the Bison don't care. And that goal is not going to count as goal time. One of the seniors trying to fire it in. 12 seconds. And the Blue Jays get one more to get it within 1. Lee, saved by Dimitru. And And the ball rolls out of bounds. So there's 2 seconds on the clock. And the Blue Jays are going to get one more chance. And they fire it in, trying to get the one-timer. And Dimitri holds, and the Bison hold a 2-goal lead as we move to the third. A good response so far for the Bison after the heartbreaker that they suffered this morning. We move along to the third quarter with the Bison up 6-4 over John Hopkins. And as we have some extra time, good time to get you caught up on a few things, see how everything else is going around the Bucknell Bison world, as it's been a little tough today for the Bison in a few other sports, with the 13-12 loss this morning for the men's water polo team against George Washington, and men's soccer heading up to Boston to take on BU, and they're going to return back to Lewisburg with a 1-0 loss. And Penn Quakers once again defeating the Bison. Penn defeated Bucknell here, Christy Matheson, a year ago, and Penn gets another victory on the Bison. 2024, 31-21 was the final. Hopefully Ralph Rucker's doing okay, having to leave the game a little earlier. And then volleyball was in action across the hall over at Davis Gym, and it was a sweep for the Bison, defeating Loyola 3-0. And then the matchup here tonight against John Hopkins. Field hockey is back in action tomorrow, along with volleyball. And starting off, the men's golf team, they will be hosting the Bucknell Invitational all day tomorrow, and then got the 2 matchups for the Bison here at Kinney Nanatorium, the final 2 home matches of the regular season and the season for the Bison, with their matchup tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. against Navy, and then their matchup against Mercyhurst at 3 o'clock. And water polo and golf are the only home events for the Bison tomorrow, with women's volleyball getting the victory today, and they're going to pack up and hit the road. They'll head to Hamilton to take on Colgate. The matchup will be at 1 o'clock, and then the field hockey team will have a Patriot Ivy League matchup as they will head to Ithaca, New York. So volleyball and field hockey both going to upstate New York, and field hockey team is going to go up against Cornell. That matchup will be at 2 o'clock, and the volleyball matchup and the field hockey matchup on the road. You'll be able to catch all the action on ESPN+. Happy you're along with us on the final weekend for Bucknell Bison Water Polo at home. As the Bison are going to hit the road, we will give you the remaining schedule for the Bison once we move along to the fourth quarter. That's a good time to go over the rest of the senior script for the Bison and the 4 seniors. Now we honor here today, have 3 left to say on the air, just in case if anybody missed them, because we were not on the air yet when we had the senior ceremony. Mentioned Jack Bruce, and now we honor senior attacker and team captain Shea Giller, who was accompanied by his parents Jason and Jessica before the match began. Shea has had an outstanding career at Bucknell, scoring 104 goals over his 4 years. In his sophomore year, he made a key impact by scoring 2 crucial goals in the MEWPC semifinal win over George Washington. As a junior, Giller was a vital part of the team, finishing as the second leading scorer with an impressive 51 goals. He also contributed 11 blocks and 36 steals, highlighting his all-around abilities on both offense and defense. So far this season, he has notched 22 goals, 9 steals, 1 block, 7 assists, and 14 ejections drawn. And Shea Gillen is a finance major from Woodland Hills, California, and he has a goal in this matchup as well. And then we moved along to senior center defender Mason Moltock. He was accompanied by Kevin and Christine Yardley. And Haston has had an outstanding career at Bucknell, scoring 137 goals over his 4 years. In his rookie season, he earned all MEWPC second-team honors. His strong play continued with 2 goals in the MEWPC quarterfinal against Navy during his sophomore year, and he ranked among the team's top 3 scorers as a junior. And so far in the 2024 season, he has notched 10 goals, 1 block, 1 assist, 5 steals, and 2 ejections drawn. He is an economics major from Instable Tote. As the quick halftime wraps up, and we move along to second quarter action as the Bison try to close out these final 16 minutes and look to go 1-for-1 on this Saturday before their 2 final home matches tomorrow. And they look to get a goal to start the half, and it is denied by Pearson. Not Reichman. And a goal in the first half, and he cannot cash in to start the second. Keeps John Hopkins in the matchup for the time being. And a whistle. Philip Long. Try to race on in, but exclusion called against the Blue Jays. Gives the ball back to the Bison. And it'll be Dimitru waiting to see an open man. And he signs it for Stefanovic. Stefanovic is open for a second. Now, Blue Jays cover, got 8 to shoot. Multi in the wrestling match for the shoot. Gillard to the shoot. And for Multi save made by Pearson. Kyle Pearson has come up big again for the Blue Jays as he keeps John Hopkins' hopes alive from trying to make a comeback. Ball past the 2-meter line. Owen Bartlett is looking for control as it at the out-of-bounds spring. Now the Bison. Take it back the other way. That's the 2-meter line. Stefanovic. He scores! Alexis Stefanovic. The last 2 goals in the George Washington loss for the Bison this morning, and he gets the first goal of the second half, and it's 7-4. A 14-match winning streak on the line for the Bison, to win their 15th in a row against John Hopkins. The last victory for the Blue Jays against Bucknell is right here at Kinney Natatorium on September 25th. Oh, my apologies, reading the wrong date. November 7th, 2015. It was September 25th of 2016 that the Bison started their winning streak, which still holds up in 2024. That was a 12-11 final. Udovcic enters into the contest. If memory serves me, I do not think he was in the pool for the first half. Stefanovic. Tonacliffe with 5 to shoot off the post. But it goes right back to Tonacliffe. The lucky bounce. Give the ball back to the Bison. Multi to Tonacliffe. Bison with plenty of time. Fresh shot clock with 20 to shoot and a whistle with an exclusion. Seems that's going to go against Philip Long. Stefanovic. One-timer. Easy money. And it's Matt Reichman again. Matt Reichman coming up big on senior day. And it's 8-4 Bison. Long to Bartlett. As the Blue Jays still searching for their first goal of the half. Can they get it here? They have a wide open net and they hit the post. Patrick Rooney had a wide open crease, and the Blue Jays cannot cash in to get within 3. And Dimitru and Sharpie Waters. Difficult for him to get back into the crease right away, and Patrick Rooney had a wide open crease and he can't cash in. There's Udovcic. Long pass, and the Blue Jays were looking for that turnover that they desperately need. Bartlett trying to fight for it back, and it's going to result in an exclusion. He's fighting with Giller. A fresh ball to the point. Stefanovic doesn't let it go. Went past the 2-meter line. Udovcic looking for his first goal of the contest. Stefanovic, quick pass in, and they score. Multi gets on the board. Now all we need is Jack Bruce to get a goal, and all 4 seniors that we honored will be in the scoring column, and a timeout is going to be on the floor. Seems it's going to be taken by Max Schlegel. Now we got some time. We'll honor the final senior that we honored here, and that is Matt Reichman. He was joined by his parents, and he is a center, also a fellow captain. He was joined by his parents, John and Polo Reichman, and his sister, Jackie. Matt has scored 68 goals during his 4 years at Bucknell. He set career best in his freshman and sophomore seasons, netting 3 goals and wins over Mount San Antonio and Salem. As a junior, Reichman continued to showcase his skill, recording 13 goals, 1 block, and 9 steals across 12 games. So far this season, he has notched 15 goals. Well, not anymore. He already has a few in this matchup here. And he had 1 block, 1 assist, and 23 ejections drawn. He's a mechanical engineer major from Caracas, Venezuela. As mentioned, only 4 victories here in Lewisburg for John Hopkins. First one coming in 2002. It was an 11-8 final. These two teams have been squaring off. The inaugural matchup was in 1990. Bison winning that matchup 14-5, and Bison started another long winning streak over John Hopkins, defeating them in the entire decade. It wasn't until 2000 John Hopkins got their first win over the Bison. John Hopkins looking for a goal here, and Dimitri gets a piece of it, denying the chance for Mihalopoulos. And the other 3 victories for John Hopkins here in Lewisburg came in 2009 in overtime, 2010, and then that last victory for John Hopkins in 2015. And they get a goal as Blue Jays tried to get that comeback coming. Goes to the sophomore, Alec Baker. And it's 9-5, and John Hopkins cashes in the second half, almost towards the halfway point of the third. Udovcic exits out, and here comes Jack Bruce. Jack searching for that goal that would give all 4 seniors a goal in their senior game. There's Gilbert. Finds Murad. Gets it to Bruce. Might be a tough angle. He wants an assist instead, and he's going to get it! And the goal lands through for the Bison, and it's 10-5. Bison looking for the rebound and hopeful that it'll still be ranked. This weekend comes to an end. It'll have to be TBT with the 2 matchups they have tomorrow, and Stanford holding the #1 spot entering into this weekend. In the national polls, UCLA 2nd, USC 3rd, Pacific 4th, Cal Irvine 5th. The first not California score with a save by Dimitri, denying Mihalopoulos once again. And I think, no surprise to anybody, the Fordham Rams are the first non-California team in the polls, coming in at 6th. Pepperdine at 7th, and defending champions, 3-time defending champions. California dropping to 8th in the standings. California football team over in Pittsburgh right now. Still hard to believe in a conference matchup. With 1 to shoot, and the save is made by Dimitri. Rounding out the top 10, Long Beach State #9, and then Harvard is 10th. And they try to find another one-timer as Murad tried to send that home for the thief from Headland. Dimitri's Oh no, my apologies. What am I thinking? That was Headblade who got the defensive stop, and he's going to try to get a goal out of it, and that swims away. And Pearson picks it up. John Hopkins working right to left, Bison left to right. John Hopkins down by 5. They need to at least get it within a 2 or 3 goal disadvantage if they want any chance of getting back into this game as the whistle blows as Healthy took the shot. Didn't matter, it was cut off by Dimitri. Headblad. Murad goes wide. Final 10 minutes remaining in this contest. Bison looking to get back on track. They hold on for the win. They'll have their 15th win in a row against John Hopkins, and they'll go back to 500, 7-7 overall, and they'll go to 4-2 in MEWPC play with 2 more MEWPC matchups tomorrow. An anticipated matchup against the Midshipmen. And to play the Mercyhurst Lakers once again. And a soft shot. But Healthy goes high. Bucknell has it back with 1:30 remaining in the third. So the full 8 minutes left to be played. Murad finds Headblad. Ian Schultz entering into the contest, and Jack Bruce is sank into the chloride. Jack Bruce sends it back for Schultz. Headblad doesn't let it go. Bison have plenty of time. Got 20 to shoot. Here's Bruce. One-timer, he scores. Another assist for Jack Bruce. And it's 11-5 Bison. Subs going to continue to come on. Jack Bruce remains in the game. That would be a phenomenal story if all 4 seniors can get a goal. Reichman, Gilwern, Multi all have goals, and Jack Bruce looks to join them. Dimitri finds far side. Jake Wedding, freshman. Looking for Ned Smith. Freshman exchanging passes. Goes back for Wedding. Over for Smith. Into the middle, goes wide. Shot taken by Delane as that was an all-freshman offensive drive for the Bison. John McBride having the advantage of having a comfortable 6-goal lead. Sending some of the subs to give his usual starters some rest, as they are definitely going to need it against Navy tomorrow. And the Bison had 2 weeks off. They had their bye week last weekend. Their last matchup heading into today was that 15-goal victory against Mercyhurst, who they're going to see again tomorrow. And the one-timer is saved by Dimitri. Shot was taken by Mark Poisler, the senior out of Texas. And he got a minute remaining on the clock. John McBride trying to get in a late sub. Ian Schultz going out. And for the officials, sends the ball in. Poisler. And time's going to run out as it went to Patrick Rooney, and pressure by Delane. And with some extracurriculars with the officials, and that's going to end the third. Only 1 goal for the Blue Jays in that quarter, and a handful for the Bison, 5 to be exact. As a result, it is 11-5 with the Bison in front as we head to the fourth. It's a good time to give you the remaining schedule for the season. There's 2 matchups tomorrow against Navy and Mercyhurst. The Bison will hit the road, and 4 games up in Boston for the Harvard Invitational, starting off with San Jose State on Saturday. They'll take on Long Island, who was here for the Bucknell invite a few weeks ago. Those will be their 2 games on Saturday the 19th, and then they'll take on the host Harvard on Sunday, and then they'll take on the Salem Tigers in the WWPA. The Tigers have had a good season so far. They're one of the top contenders for the WWPA championship. Moving along, after the Harvard invite, Bucknell will hit the road for a Maryland swing down to D.C. and Baltimore when they'll try to get the revenge on George Washington, and will be in D.C. on the 26th, and then the Bison will hit the road and they'll head up to Baltimore and they'll face John Hopkins again. And then they're going to have Navy at their house on the 27th. So they head to Annapolis. And it's going to be tough sledding for the Bison as their last 6 games are all conference action. Annapolis, as mentioned, that game on the 27th against Navy, and then the Bison will head to Emmitsburg to take on Mount St. Mary's to begin November. November 1st, a Friday night game at 7 o'clock. And then Bison going to have to face the team that everybody is trying to beat in this conference. They'll take on the Fordham Rams again on November 9th in the Bronx. Then they'll stay in New York, and then they'll go to the other borough. They'll head to Staten Island to close out the regular season on November 9th against the Wagner Seahawks in a phenomenal matchup that the Seahawks and the Bison had to end the Bison infight for Bucknell a few weeks ago. And then, Bison will just have to wait and see what their fate will be. So they'll head back to Annapolis on November 22nd, 23rd, and 24th for the MAWPC Championships. With one of the many teams in the MAWPC looking to stop 3-time defending champions, the Fordham Rams. Play is going to resume to begin final 8 minutes of this contest and see if the Bison try the feed a goal to Jack Bruce, who is in the lineup. It's the Bison working left to right and John Hopkins right to left. As we can't start play yet, one of the officials is checking things over at the scoring table. And if the Bison can hold on here, it will be their 130th win all-time against current MAWPC schools. Oh no, my apologies, I was looking at the wrong sheet. This will be their 239th win all-time against current MAWPC schools. They have winning records, Bison, against everybody except Navy. But that loss to George Washington is now the Bison's 23rd loss all time against the Revolutionaries. Play resumes, and now we're off to the 4th. Multi is going to lead it ahead on the first offensive drive for the Bison. May get a goal to Jack Bruce. Ball's in his hands now. On the pass for the late sub, it's Gilway. Back for Multi. Multi thinking about winding up, goes to Gilway. 3 seniors working the ball around. Multi, 3 to shoot, and it goes high. With 1 second on the shot clock, and the Bison fail to cash in on their first offensive drive of the 4th. Pearson seen shot after shot. We have John Hopkins try to get anything going. Essentially in miracle mode right now, down by 6. Rayleigh looking for long. Into the middle, and Jack Bruce taking the whack away from Mihalopoulos. And it's going to result in a penalty shot, the first of this contest for John Hopkins. Going to be taken by Ian Rayleigh. Second and goals coming into this contest. And 38, Andrew Lee standing in first. We have 41 coming into today. Rayleigh make it 11-6. Waiting quietly and patiently. Not anymore, because David Dimitri with the stop. Denying Ian Rayleigh of the chance to make it 11-6. But the ball remains with the Blue Jays. That was a goal John Hopkins needed, but they could try again. More time off the clock. Rayleigh wide open, long, and he can't cash in. And the Bison take it back the other way, and what seems like is going to be their 7th win of the season. Here's Connicliffe. Finds Bruce. And Bruce pressured in the corner by Rayleigh. Forces it back with 11 to shoot. In front, a save made by Pearson. Another big stop, denying another goal from Matt Reichman. The Bison reset. And keep with it going out of bounds, and Connicliffe can't cash in. Another big blockade by Pearson. And here's Rayleigh. Here's the Blue Jays. They win any shot of trying to make the case of a comeback. They need to go on this drive, and guess who? It's Andrew Lee, a freshman out of LA. Makes it 11-6. It over for Stefanovic. And collision with Lee. That's going to draw an obvious exclusion, and Gillern now gains control. Stefanovic into traffic. Bruce doesn't take the shot, sends it for Gillern instead. Back to the 2-meter line. Bruce again, fires off the post. Jack Bruce cannot cash in with the goal. He's the only senior that has not scored yet today. But luckily, the Bison get it back. Stefanovic, it's in the middle, in traffic, they score. Jack Moran with the one-timer. And the Bison get a dozen, they lead 12-6. Long. Reichman on coverage. Baker. Rayleigh between the 6 and 5. Baker is open. Stefanovic playing back from him. Past the 2-meter line. Rayleigh back for Baker. Off the post and in. And that is the goal that David Dimitri wants to have back. Thought he had the save. And then all he could do was just look up at the lights. It's 12-7 with the Bison still holding the lead with 5:10 remaining. Brad finds Stefanovic. Plenty of time for the Bison, 20 to shoot if they want to elect to take as much time as they need off the clock. Brad finds Bruce. And that's broken up by Rayleigh. And the ball's awarded to the Blue Jays. Controlled by Pelfy. Quinn Steffi Passes a little too far than expected. Got 14 to shoot. And Baker step back into it. And a turnover. Sevenovich now with control. Bruce pulls it from Murad. Back for Bruce. Bruce has to get to an easier angle. Finds a man in the middle and they score. Gillard. That was an all-senior offensive drive for the Bison with Jack Bruce setting up Murad, and it's 13-7 Bison. More subs are going to come on in. John McBride taking advantage of using his bench. Jack Bruce is going to exit out. Ian Schultz goes back in. Jack Delane. Udovcic. So the Young Guns turn in for John McBride. I believe all of the seniors are out of the poll for possibly the final time. Blue Jays pull it back. After the 6-meter line, off to the 2. Looking for that one-timer in front off the post. Patrick Rooney. And the right idea with the feed as the ball did touch out of bounds. That was set up by Ethan Babel. And the one-timer, nothing. Andrew Lee trying to get another one in for the Blue Jays, and that ricochets off of the post. Dimitri getting a piece of it. Now it's going to be led up by Wedding. Jake Wedding, he has 1 goal. It was in the Fordham contest. 8 seconds to shoot. Udovcic blocked in front. And Udovcic with a tussle with the man who made the block. It was Alex Baker. 3 minutes to go. And Bison hold on to the 6-goal lead. Blue Jays trying to make it 5. And Babel and a whistle. There was some rumbling in front. Bison get it back. Wide open, off the post. Shot taken by Greg Nordheim. There's Schultz for Udovcic. Whistles continue to fly. That's Smith from Udovcic. Schultz wide open. Udovcic. Smith. Now Schultz. Udovcic. He's going to be the one to fire it into heavy traffic. Fight for the ball. Nordheim looking for it back. And it comes up to the surface, and it's Palefy. Comes up out of the scrum to give the ball back to the Blue Jays. 2 minutes remaining. Bison are going to head into the 2 matchups tomorrow with the 15th win in a row against John Hopkins. The Blue Jays, they'll have a busy weekend for the remainder. They're going to head back home to Baltimore tonight. And then with it only being an hour away, and a penalty shot, and Dimitri comes up with a save. David Dimitri denying the chance for Patrick Rooney on the penalty shot, and the Bison take it back the other way. And so the Blue Jays are going to head home tonight They'll head back to Baltimore, and then they'll take the hour drive up to Emmitsburg for 2 matchups tomorrow. First against Mercyhurst, then Mount St. Mary's. Mercyhurst game will be at 10 o'clock, and then that Mount St. Mary's matchup at 3 o'clock. For anybody listening, following John Hopkins water polo, that matchup against Mount St. Mary's at 3 o'clock will be on ESPN+. Trying to find the one-timer off the post, and it almost ricocheted in. Alex Baker in the final minute. That's possibly the final scoring chance for John Hopkins. Blue Jays are going to fall to 7-12 in the season. They go to 1-3 in MAWPC play, heading into their 2 games tomorrow in Emmitsburg. And the Bison fail on possibly their final scoring chance, so Blue Jays might have one more chance after all. Try to get another goal in the column. It's going to be the second loss in a row for John Hopkins. 20 seconds with whistles, and Dimitru puts the hands up to make the save as Steffi took the shot. John Hopkins is going to end the game on the man up, a exclusion against the lane. That one win in conference play for John Hopkins was in their second game of the season at the Navy Open against Mercyhurst. It's the team we're going to see again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and we'll go Mount St. Mary's at 3 o'clock. Remember, friends, for the 2 matchups tomorrow for the Bison, all the action will be right back here on the Bucknell Athletics YouTube channel. That matchup, that anticipated matchup against Navy, will be at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Then Bison will have a little break, and then they'll take on Mercyhurst at 3 o'clock. All the action will be right here on the Bucknell Athletics YouTube channel. Happy you are along with us. Final 18 seconds of this one, and the Bison are going to cruise to their 15th win in a row against the John Hopkins Blue Jays. Blue Jays are going to head back to Baltimore tonight, get some rest in their own dorms and their own beds, and then they'll hit the road, and then they'll take the hour drive up to Emmitsburg. 2 matchups tomorrow against Mount St. Mary's and Mercyhurst. 13 seconds remaining. Lee looking for the one-timer, and Scruffle in front. Patrick Rooney trying to draw the exclusion. And we'll go against Schultz near the 2-meter line, and John Hopkins is going to get a penalty shot. Go to Baker. The Blue Jays get to 8 before they head back to Baltimore. Taken by Baker, the sophomore. And he skips it in. The Blue Jays get 8 on the board. It's going to be 5 goals too late. There's still 8 seconds at the Bison. Want to try to get one more goal before they pack up, head back to their dorms, and then right back here tomorrow morning. Udovcic. 3 to shoot, and the Bison are going to hold for their 15th win in a row against the Blue Jays. Final score 13-8, and the Bison respond from that heartbreaking loss that they had this morning against George Washington. Bison started off a few quick goals, and John Hopkins held their ground against the Bison, but the Bison were able to drive away in that second quarter. John Hopkins suffering their 12th loss of the season. They go to 1-3 in MAWPC play, and the Bison are back to 500, 7-7 overall in the season, and they go to 4-2 in MAWPC play. And friends, as a reminder, the Bison will be back in action tomorrow morning and afternoon with their first matchup and that anticipated matchup against the Navy Midshipmen, a ranked versus ranked matchup here tomorrow at Kinney Natatorium at 11 a.m. And then the Bison will take on the Mercyhurst Lakers once again at 3 o'clock. All the action will be live on the Bucknell Bison YouTube channel. Well, my friends, that is going to do it for us here from Kinney Natatorium. Happy you were along with us honoring our 4 seniors for the Bucknell Bison 2024 men's water polo season. Colton the Bias signing off from Kinney Natatorium as the Bison go 1 for 1 on this Saturday, and they respond with that heartbreaking loss against George Washington earlier this morning. They rebound with a 13-8 win over the John Hopkins Blue Jays, and we hope to see you right back here tomorrow with the Bison's 2 matchups against Navy and Mercyhurst.